Fantastic. That's what you like to hear. Well, we'll go ahead and throw it over to our wonderful casters.
Oh, thank you so much, Slacks. We do get into it. Game number one here between PSG.LGD and Boom Esports. John, you hear this crowd. It is absolutely electrifying in here. You've seen both these drafts. What are you thinking?
I think we're going to have a good game regardless. We've got a few surprises from Boom. You know, we heard Mushi. It's all according to plan that they're getting out there. So we'll see if they are truly ready for that plan. We've got a lot of fans from Southeast Asia and a lot of fans of Chinese teams here too. So the crowd is going to be loud throughout the entire game, and I'm looking forward to see some of that Southeast Asian and Asian spirit overall.
Absolutely. That's what we love to see. We do get into it though. Game one. Jonathan, one of these teams has to leave today. It's not a best of one this time around. We've got a best of three series, but so much on the line, and it feels like this is a series that just shouldn't be happening. We're in round two of the lower bracket.
Oh yeah.
Boom Esports had 1.4% chance of making it through the playoffs from the group stage, and PSG.LGD, I mean, you would have just thought they were in the grand finals through the upper bracket.
Yeah, they've had such a smooth run throughout the year. Maybe the performances were a little bit more up and down, you know, not really managing to get those big wins they'd want. But a lot of people had high hopes for them. Same thing with Boom, though. Like, every single time we've seen Boom go into an international tournament, it's always kind of fallen flat, but this is this could be their opportunity to prove everyone wrong as well. And again, a lot of hopes hanging on that last Southeast Asian team here.
Absolutely. We'll see how it does go. Of course, we'll start with the mid lane. Nothing to say going to be there against the Idol Yopaj. The Mars versus Kunkka. What are you thinking about this one? Who has the advantage? Who should win out this lane?
I mean, it feels a lot easier for the Kunkka, right? You've always got Tidebringer coming out. The Mars has some play, though. By level 2, level 3, you can threaten, you can get some good spear backs, but it's just a lot more consistent for the Kunkka to kind of work that lane, as long as he kind of dodges out from Yopaj's aggression when he does dip in.
What about that bottom lane, John? I mean, you've got Jackie and Scam, of course, against Faith Beyond there on that slide. I mean, it seems like a bit of a tough lane for Jackie as it does go on, right? When you get the levels up on Faith Beyond it, with that added bash, it's always hard for the Lifestealer. Do you think maybe the Crystal Maiden can kind of relieve that pressure as the game goes on?
And somewhat, it's really aggressive lane. We heard what the panel was saying about that bot lane. It's just Slardar plus Snapfire, all the stuns in the world. You can just easily eat through the Lifestealer if he's not careful, especially in those early levels.
Yeah.
And it's just chain stun after chain stun. The CM can only do so much in this lane. You do have enough mangoes out from Skem to kind of sustain the harassment, but when it comes to commitment, I don't see LGD really being shoved away just from Skem's presence.
Yeah, I mean, you've got that deadly combination as well, right, with the cookie into the crush.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so hard to escape, and I'll see how they do try to abuse it. Of course, we did have a look at that top lane as well as Yopaj. He does end up missing that spear, but top lane, FBZ and Tim's going to be against Arme, and of course, Y. Seems like a bit of another rough lane for both sides here, at least for Boom Esports. The Phoenix off lane coming out as well against the Snapfire kind of surprised us, John, but what are you thinking about this top lane?
I mean, it makes sense in some ways. You know, attack speed slow onto the Monkey King does make that lane really annoying. At the same time, Ame can just kind of dance around a lot more with his added attack range.
Right.
So he's not directly in front of the creeps. He has some leeway to walk away when he does see the fire spirits coming out. And with Y around, you just take a really annoying creep. You can always trade fairly well up against Tims. You can't really fully commit for the combinations here on Boom early on with the tag team, as we do see the shards coming out from Tims here as well. It does feel like for Boom, this is maybe a level 3, heck, even level 4 or 5, where you can really start to get aggressive. And that might be more than enough room for Ame to just farm up and get what you can.
Yeah, I mean, you saw why. He went for that early Divine Favor. I was about to say Divine Rapier. John's still thinking about yesterday's game, but, you know, just wanting to play a passive lane, I think, here for Ame is, of course, Y just going to do his best to make sure he does remain alive. You do see the headdress as well, of course. Plenty of regen available there on Y, just making sure his Monkey King can stay there forever. We'll see what Tim's and FBZ can try to do about it. Back into the mid lane, nothing to say. Like you mentioned, John, should have a very good time and is having a very good time. 17-3 on the Kunkka. But we've seen this man play the Kunkka many, many times. He's an expert at this hero and obviously showing us a bit of a masterclass here against Yopaj.
Yeah, the same goes for Yopaj, though. He plays a lot of Kunkka, so he should understand the ins and outs of almost every matchup. It is just tougher. Again, Kunkka's just much more consistent with harassment there.
I have bunching for you.
Bit of a fight up at top lane, just trying to make sure these pulls don't get away. Bot lane. Been a bit of activity. Faith Beyond and Synq have been getting rather low on the Snapfire and the Slider, but they will regen up with that salve available on Faith Beyond. Though a nice cancel there from Skem. It's against that Crystal Maiden, as long as you've got the regen. FBZ top lane, he got rather close to dying, but he's going to be just fine. Question is, does he have the regen to remain in the lane now?
He's going to need a little bit more to fly out. Does have the courier coming in with at least the tangos. and the Ring of Regen, so a little bit more to play with. That's just a lot of space coming out from Ami. He's had a little bit of a slower lane, not too far behind from anyone else, but it's not like a free lane so far. I mean, the big difference is really just nothing to Say's lane. A lot is coming out from this Kunkka. A faster level 6 lines up with so much aggression that you can get out with these early timings that a lot of your heroes do have. Like, heck, even a good Chen rotation at some point towards mid might ruin that tempo for Yopaj, which he really wants in this lineup. It feels like the Mars is going to be setting it for Boom.
Very close on the boundless strike there for Ame, just barely off and connecting with FBZ. Still bullying out the Phoenix very, very effectively, and FBZ just going to go back to the fountain for a reset. Of course, going back to the mid lane, you saw Skem and Tim's rotate. They secure both water runes, they secure both bounty runes, so just really enabling Yopaj, not allowing nothing to say that the kind of bottle refill he may be looking for, or just the regen in general. Just no runes available whatsoever for PSG.LGD, and I suppose that's one good way of just slowing down the mid lane of LGD, is just take all the runes away.
Yeah, it can kind of cause nothing to say to play a bit safer, but he's always got the XTP back for a top-up. He really does feel the pressure, and they're not quite committing on Boom to apply that pressure. Still focusing on the side lanes. You see Tim's here just being chased away, but creep army of Y. He's got the most annoying creeps, Chain Lightning creep and the Purge creep up. So you really can't do much about that if you're the Tusk right now.
We're trying on to the task. Oh, great boundless strike out from Ame from a mile away, and Y able to secure first blood here for PSG.LGD. That was right on the edge there with Ame. My goodness.
And it's just when you have access to that small camp and you get lucky with some of these creeps, it just gets really hard. There's just not much the Tusk can do. And again, Ame's just getting a lot of space out. 23 to 13 in the CS, slightly above Jackie. But the Monkey King can kind of just get active a little bit faster, it does feel like.
He's going to have a rotation up towards the north, maybe just scouting out that Dire Triangle. Of course, power runes are coming up very, very soon. We'll see if Boom want to try and secure both sides as well here. This game actually just going to go for the block on the Ancient, Sin-Q. May not have caught him doing that. I believe he was within the fog at the time. Well, nothing to say. Mid lane, he's going to get sharded up here. And they are just trying to contest power runes right now, as you will see Y and Sin-Q also join the fray. It's going to be Skem down at the bot side of the rune that does actually pick up the double damage, so he just gets away with it, just completely denying it off from nothing to say, and just a great way of slowing down the Kunkka, not allowing any rotations. So as I say that, they may just run mid. Arena is down defensively. Can they take him down? It's a lot of damage flying out, and Sin-Q, he'll still land the cookie through the arena. Just on the outer edge, they just hold him down, but now nothing to say. He could be in danger. Tims and Skem getting to work. The double damage, actually doing a hell of a lot of work, but Sin-Q, he shows up again. They find another. Is Tims? Can he run now? Sin-Q really chasing far. Very nice cookie and a triple kill out for Sin-Q.
It's that aggression we talked about, having such a great foundation out from such a strong start from Naix, and with how good your supports are at going towards mid, it's just really easy to bully out. Boom started out with a really good spear opportunity, but not really able to commit with Tim's around. He's under-leveled on a Tusk, still level 2, about to hit 3. There's not much he can really do to help Yopaj find these kills.
Absolutely not. It's a very slow start here for Boom, but a great start for PSG.LGD. 3K ahead. Ame, I mean, you kind of talked about this already. He's been just free farming this whole time. 7 minutes in, he's not too far in, but you look at the net worth just snowballing out of control already. You could say the same about every core on the side of PSG.LGD, all the way at the top of the 3 cores from the Dire end of things, and well, you couldn't have asked for a better start.
Yeah, it's just perfection. 0 to 4, 3K lead at 7.5 minutes in. You're going to hit all your spikes really fast. Level 6 coming out for Faith Beyond, going to make it a lot easier to start finding those kills. Already has the Morbid Mask ready as well. And the timings for Boom, it's so level dependent. You're waiting for the egg to kind of tie in with the arena. You want more levels up on your Tusk for a little bit more damage and a little bit more utility out from the snowball and the shards. And you kind of want Jackie to just farm. They need to kind of get their supports online and really get FBZ online with the Phoenix, because that's their big combo. The arena egg, it's got to come into play at some point.
It certainly does, and you're always going to have to be worried about Sin-Q in the end of the day, right, with that little shredder. She hit that level 1 mark of the egg. LGD, they'll slow the game down a little bit. No need to rush this one, though. As I say that, we do have a rotation into the mid lane. Yopaj, a little bit of danger here as Sin-Q once again with a fantastic rotation. Backing up, nothing to say, but do they have the damage this time around? Yopaj gonna try to run, but they've got it. The Tidebringer was there, and now the cookie back out from Sin-Q. They won't care for the Tusk kill. No need to overextend for that. They've got the big one already.
Yeah, they're just tempoing themselves so well on LGD. They saw that movement down from the sports down bot. They knew they had enough space to go for Yopaj. They scouted out with a Chen creep at bot lane. And Yopaj just can't do much. Like, the moment he gets X stuff, you do have enough magical damage on LGD. And Boom are just trying to get something on the sides. They're committing so much time to try to find those pickoffs. But LGD just punish.
Absolutely. Very, very tough start. I mean, you've just got to try and slow the pace down now if you are Boom. In the meantime, more stacks being made, but no, the sentry is still there. So they have not managed to deal with that sentry that was there by Skim. In fact, he's got them both of them. Really trying to slow down the pacing of Nothing to Say. They've done absolutely everything to slow this man down, but he's still top the net worth board. In fact, he's going to find Jackie on the lifestealer. X is there, but Rage will be there in time to juke out the cookie. Still Faith Beyond is going to show up. They do have the X back. Jackie, he's in huge trouble, and Xinkyu, he's going to find a 4th kill. This Snapfire, he's just doing too much work.
He's all over the map, and Jackie popping that rage a bit early. The moment he saw the cookie come out, while the X was on, he had to rage, and he couldn't outlast that X mark, so he just gets punished. There was a smoke rotation out from Boom, trying to head up top, but they're still not finding anything for their trouble. They dragged Yopaj around for that. It's LGD really working this map out really well, just using the vision they have from the Chen creeps. Starting to get activity in Ame.
Yeah, he's got an arcane room, but in comes Nothing to Say along with Ame. Arena is down, but here come the kisses. Tims, he'll buy them a bit of time, allow them to get away from those kisses, but it's still a lot of damage. Now the egg will be dropped down. Ame, he might be in trouble, but no Tims. He's the one in danger as he does go down to Y. PSG.LGD, they'll just keep running. They might just want to reset and just back out of this team fight, as it seems like Boom have brought Jackie over, but it's going to be a bit of wasted time for the lifestealer. Nothing going to come out for Boom. LGD still 0-7 in their favor. Boom to pick up 1 kill.
I mean, you see how confident they are. They just drag in Ame. They start to use that Monkey King, get a little bit more vision out, get some good jumps in to follow up, and Boom expend the arena and the egg. The combination was there, but they didn't lock anyone in. LGD, they're just sidestepping everything.
They are not even giving Boom any leeway. Like, not a crack has been opened yet. Still 0 kills on the board. His Faith Beyond, he'll take care of the bot T1 tower, has the Mask of Madness up, gonna make very, very quick work of it. This is what I was kind of mentioning earlier, John. Like, against the lifestealer, you're gonna have such a good time perma-bashing Jackie up if he does get caught out with the initial stun, and we'll see if they can capitalize on it later on. For now, I mean, with the 6k net worth lead, they can basically do whatever the hell they want, LGD.
Yeah, they've got free reign of the map. They've got some pretty good wards by the ramp sides on the river, so they're always going to be able to check if Boom is trying to sneak around without a smoke. Boom, for their part, just constrained on their side of the map. They're not able to cross that river. They're not able to really scout out, use that deep ward they have on the top jungle to stop any of this farm game. Like, it's just a very static game right now for Boom and LGD. And they could play it static now as well. They're going back to farming with Ame, just getting that build up into the Desolator coming out here for the Monkey King. They've even got the early mech up and running for Y, so much more sustainable of these fights. Considering how durable you are with Chen, with Kunkka and the both buff, even if Boom somehow managed to get that initiation, it doesn't feel like they have enough damage to eat through that.
Absolutely not. And we're talking about damage. LGD, they've got all the damage. Like, you're pointing out the Deso on Ame coming out with the corrosive haze on top of that. Armlet's just going to do nothing with all that bonus armor you get there on Jackie, and just such a painful experience to have to try and deal with as LGD. They are starting to move in, but Boom are waiting. In there goes Jackie. They find Y. They do have the help around, though. Nothing to Say, trying to save the day of the Chen, but the Y is still going to drop. That's 1. Just a +5 kill here for Boom, but it is the first kill of the game for them to pick up, and that's a start.
Yeah, it's a start. And not the biggest, but a little cheeky.
Oh, Faith Beyond almost finds Tims, but the snowball is going to buy a little bit of time as Tims is still going to drop, and now Yopaj, he's been caught out. Boundless is there as well. They take him down. No chance survival, just perma-stuns out from LGD. Into the tier 1 mid tower they go.
And it doesn't take too long to push with just how much damage is coming out. Not even the full Deso out from Ame yet. Just with the numbers they have, with a little Shredder to provide some minus armor, it just melts. And Boom, again, they just keep coming in one by one. They find that 1 kill in the Chen, and then they just don't manage to get anything else. They don't manage to play with their combinations, and LGD just recognize that. When they're split up, when the egg's not a threat, they've got a huge open.
Here we go. Y. caught out, but the cookie is going to be there. Why will be just fine. Snowball, they're going to follow up. They really want something for their trouble. The hand of God was there. Why? Still running. Tornado away. It's just not going to be enough. They even commit the arena for this. I mean, it's heavy commitment from Boom, but considering the state of the game right now, they need everything they can get.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the same kill back-to-back. It's just not swinging that much net worth. You have to commit so many heroes in. It's a lot of space for LGD. They're just able to go elsewhere, able to get that build-up they want on Ame, on Nothing to Say, and on Fate Beyond. And there's just no stopping those fours. Me and Boom are lagging behind by a pretty big margin 14 minutes in, 8k net worth deficit. And the timings for LGD are just ramping up. You know, more damage coming out from Kunkka. BKBs will come out soon. On top of that, Deso timing coming out from Ame. And you have very little to deal with any of that spell immunity here.
Yeah, you certainly don't have much. So Ame just continuing with that farm. Third in net worth right now. Only third to both his two cores on LGD. Nothing to say, still at the top somehow, considering how much they tried to shut the man down. And was Faith Beyond right behind him. Almost has his BKB up now, and that's going to be very problematic. Don't worry about anything here from Boom once you have that up, apart from Jackie, but he's just nowhere near the stage where he's ready to fight.
Dire's top tower is under
Again, they
attack.
can just happily slow the game down, understanding their own strategy, their own draft, and just wait till perhaps the mid-game to get going once again. Boom, all they can do, I mean, this is the draft where they want to try and move in and start fighting early on, but they just can't make it happen right now. They've got to sit back and relax.
They need to wait for their own BKBs, maybe a blink coming out from Yopaj down the line to kind of help them set up with a better arena, catch some better heroes out, ensure the spear lands on target, and have that follow through from the egg. Because you are playing against a snap. As long as the snap fires outside arena, you're pretty okay in protecting that egg. So your combinations can still kick off. It's just, it's a lot harder than what LGD have, and all they need to do is throw out an X, get a blink up on your Slardar down the line, maybe after the BKB, and you just have low commitment initiation. It's not going to cost you much from LGD to just keep that aggression, whereas Boom, they can't risk it. They just have to keep playing the slower game, take what space they can, and LGD are just thriving in that environment.
Well, they've got a scan out on Sin-Q. Scam, he's really the only one around right now. As PSG.LGD, they'll be the ones to move in and try to find the Maiden. It's underneath vision, but does manage to back out of range. Upaj gonna stick around. Sin-Q and Ame, very confident with their own positioning, understanding it's gonna be quite hard for Boom to actually pick them off. Instead, Boom will just back their way out, understanding again, they're not ready for a big team fight right now. Not even these smaller pickoffs. Jackie now, double damage is going to be picked up, but he does try to rage away from it. Rather the X, that is. There's nothing to say. Not going to be able to stop him this time. So important for Jackie to just keep that farm going. For now, he'll hang around that Radiant Triangle, just stay within the safety of the Radiant Jungle.
They don't have the best vision right now from Boom to kind of protect themselves. Only one defensive ward down bot, very far away from Jackie. They do go for a smoke play here on Boom's end though. Might find something juicy, although Y's there to break.
Yeah, both supports are around. Good positioning from Y, but they are going to chase down Sin-Q because he's the one with the streak up right now. So Sin-Q, he'll get stunned up. Yopaj with a very nice spear. Sin-Q really has no way out of this, so they do secure a nice pickup. Tims will be the one to take it.
Yeah, that's a much bigger kill than the Chen. With that streak coming off, Tim's going to get a nice injection of gold to work towards potentially down the line his blink, which is going to be key to save out. However, LGD, I mean, they're still farming a lot better. You've got the BKB up on Fate Beyond, so the Slardar really has nothing to worry about. They're already making their way into Roshan with that Desolator up and running on Ame. And this is them taking it without the corrosive hate. Once Fate Beyond's there, this is not going to take too long. And again, Boom, they don't have the best wards here to spot that.
It's going to be a very, very fast process. Boom, they are making their way over, maybe trying to force a fight as the shards are out, and they really don't want to let this one go down. But how do you initiate a team fight here? Wukong's being committed by Ame. There's just no chance in hell, so LGD, they'll take the first Roshan of the game.
Is under attack.
Defend that mid-tier 1 tower, and it might be just time to group up and smoke up.
They've got all the tools they need here on LGD. Huge spikes out. Again, with that fresh BKB on Fate Beyond, with a fresh BKB on Nothing to Say. And these team fights for Boom, it's not going to feel great. They have nothing to pierce through unless they somehow get a full channel on that egg, but they're not going to be able to protect as much with the arena with the BKBs up.
We are going to have a quick pause. There is a headset issue right now. Of course, we did see FBZ. He's got the Spirit Vessel up now, so they might be able to start moving. Very, very quick pause, in fact. Very unusual, as we are going to get the unpause underway. LGD. find anyone here for their trouble.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Doesn't seem like it. The Yopaj is within vision, and Arme is going to try and slow him down. The Mars, how do you get out of this one? Arme, boundless, no, it's off the mark. A very nice sidestep from Yopaj, and he's out. Has his own BKB up now as well.
Yeah, that would have been massive if they managed to kill him off. He barely had the gold to buy out the recipe. So that would have stalled the BKB just a little bit longer, give them an opportunity for a bigger fight.
Scam is going to get caught. Nothing to say, should have no problems taking down the +5 CM and does not. Meanwhile, Jackie, he's a much bigger target, but a nice rage away, avoiding the boundless strike for now as Tims is going to TP out of there with the infest. He's just going to make it. That's a 5-star review right there for Tims. Perfect timing.
Oh yeah, perfect escape vehicle coming out there right in the nick of time for Jackie to just infest away. They are dodging out from these bigger kills for LGD to find, but you're still not gaining too much ground. You're at least getting that build-up you want onto Jackie here. I mean, he's working onto his own death, so they might run into each other again.
They may, nothing to say. He's a big target, but the spear is not going to land. Nothing to say. Going to try and go onto Jackie with the X-Back, but it is not going to work out either. Shards won't be on the mark. LGD just trying to control that Radiant jungle for now, at least the triangle. Just such a valuable position for them to be in. Just bully out the side of Boom Esports and don't allow Jackie that safer farm. Right into the top tier 1 tower they go. This will really open up the map now, and this is when LGD starts really choking you out of the map and not allowing you to farm in any safe position. Very strong play here from LGD, and you kind of wonder what Boom does about it.
They're just trying to retake control down bot. You do have really good forward vision here from LGD with their observer board, so they're going to be able to see who's farming in the bot jungle, and they're really still safe. Age is still up for 2 minutes 40. They just melt these objectives with the Chen army and all the minus army they have with a little Shredder and the Desolator up and running. It doesn't take long to just wipe this map out from Boom.
Yeah, absolutely not. LGD, they'll even find the top tier 2 tower, no problem. Calm play from LGD. And towards the bot lane, Arme. Take care of the defense of the tier 1. Again, Boom Esports currently just playing the avoiding game, not wanting to deal with LGD whatsoever, as they are still 11k behind. Just gonna stick as a group right now, but the problem is you are still kind of being choked out. You're not getting any farm, and you're letting Arme get all the farm in the world right now. That's going to be a huge problem.
It's going to be a massive issue, and one thing that Boom does have to play with now is a fresh blink up on Tim. So they've got some saving plays with a snowball. They can try to be a little bit more aggressive. I think you'd ideally just want Yopaj's blink at this point. Again, have that arena at the ready. Try to get some control out. Try to kill some of these key heroes. LGD just don't provide any openings. They're sticking loosely together in the same side of the map. Again, they've got better control, really good wards to watch that top lane and just control the jungle area. And once they commit to a push, Boom just don't even bother trying to defend, so they might be able to get away with maybe all the tier 2s very soon.
It does seem that way. The bottom tier 2 tower just going to go down for absolutely nothing. Boom Esports just no interest in trying to defend. They will let it go down. LGD acting like they might go high ground here. I'm not quite sure about that one, but with the Deso up on Arme, still a minute and 15 to go on the Aegis, he might try for this. And he will. It's not going to be a long process. Not with Faith Beyond and Arme, just hitting away at that tier 3 tower. FBZ and Tims, they'll hang around the tree line. In goes Tims with the Walrus Punch. Arme, he'll get force-staffed away and he'll be just fine. They don't want to take the fight anyway. With the Aegis up, they'd rather force LGD back. It's a substantial amount of damage being dealt by LGD. I think Boom will just be satisfied with the fact that their base is still intact for now.
That's cost them at least one fortify and a lot of TPs out. Jackie is just hanging around trying to farm top. They will try to smoke off the back of that, though. Might be able to snipe someone out while Nothing to Say did head up top at LGD. Very synchronized retreat coming out. Maybe Boom just not going to be able to really maximize the smoke. They need the kills. They've got to find a pick off somehow.
Where do they go? Very hard position for Boom. They've got to try and find a way to get towards that Roshan pit, but it's just not that easy crossing that mid lane. There's nothing to say. He's going to show himself on that Kunkka. He has the X-Back, so he knows he's safe. No way to lock him down. Esports again, fighting their time. Giving more time over to Jackie, who's not too far behind. He's about 2.3k behind Arme right now, but considering the state of the map, it's just so hard to find that farm. It's not really only Arme you have to worry about, because again, Faith Beyond, he's pretty much transitioned to his own style of carry now, going into the Blink Dagger. Doesn't really need it, but just with that massive initiation now on the Slaughter, it's just, for Jackie, it's just so hard to get away.
Yeah, it's an extremely difficult time for him, and you're so armored up now. on the Kunkka. Again, with all the saves you also have on LGD, you don't really have the highest burst damage on Boom. Jackie's going to need to twack away at one fella for a very long time, and it just doesn't feel like he'll be able to sustain that. LGD going out for the smoke play now. Aegis is gone, so they don't have the safety of that, but it doesn't feel like they even need it.
Certainly does not. Try to be aggressive here. Boom, very patiently waiting the tree line. They seem to have an idea. LGD are looking for a fight.
Radiant are scanning.
Control the triangle for now, LGD. Scan is there from Boom. Know exactly where LGD are at the moment. Get 14k deficit. They don't want the fight right now, and it does seem like they're going to successfully be able to get away from LGD. Thing is, if you are LGD, you might just set up for the mid-tier 2 tower now. It's the only outer tower left standing. Seems like Y is just going to get started. Is he doing a decent enough job with the fire spirits, just kind of pushing them back?
Dire are
Because
scanning.
he does see nothing to say. He does not really want to deal with the Kunkka right now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
LGD. Even find a double damage rune now for nothing to say. This could be prime opportunity for them to try and force another fight. Thing is, they've got to find Boom ESPORTS.
Yeah, I don't mind LGD actually just playing this safe. They've got control of the triangle. They've got the superior precision to push into that tier 2, whereas Boom have to play on the low ground on the defense. Doesn't feel great. You've got the blink up on Yopaj, so at the least you've got a way to initiate, but again, it's so difficult to find a right target here to combine with FBZ's egg. They will go for a smoke play though.
Be very awkward timing though with that rune available. Boom. They're going to try for this. They've got a bit of vision in that mid lane, but they don't know where LGD are right now. Maybe they've got a brief idea, but the smoke is there. Faith beyond. He's going to have his smoke broken. Yopaj not reacting quick enough to catch him out. So now both teams understand exactly where each other are. Looks like they are going to try and bait them forward, but Boom, they're being very, very careful with their own position. They understand they've kind of missed their opportunity to surprise LGD. They are just going to back their way out once again. You really do need that perfect initiation in this kind of game.
And it's just so difficult to find it. Like, you have so many things to worry about. Can you really try to kill off Kunkka in the first burst salvo? Can you try to take care of the Monkey King? Maybe you have to take care of Fate Beyond, just in case Jackie gets focused on down the line. The threat of the Snapfire is always there for SinQ if he is inside the arena and the Egg's in the right or the same spot as he is. So it's very conditional for Boom. And for LGD, it's just such a clean game. 3 to 10, 15k lead, 25.5 minutes in. They've choked out Boom to pretty much just stay at the bot jungle area for their own farm in Jackie.
He's going to get jumped on here down at bot lane. Does have the rage available, so we'll try to run as now Faith Beyond is going to make his way over, but a nice infest blink away. So they should be just fine, though. Faith is still trying. Meanwhile, they have ended up getting Skim out of there as well, so he's fine. So it seems like they are not going to be able to catch up once again. Boom doing a fantastic job of avoiding the side of LGD. LGD just kind of running across the map, trying desperately to find a pickoff, but finding absolutely nothing. It's really turning into a game of hide and seek this game one.
They're just poking and prodding, waiting for those items up on Boom and LGD. Again, they would want to get some kills. They need a kill to kind of secure the tier 2 here. Boom might get aggressive.
Do see the rune though, nothing to say. Ready, but they're still gonna jump in. Walrus punch is there, Arena down, but the spear was not there in time. The BKB was out, nothing to say now. Gonna turn with the bow for the egg. It's still going. Can it last? It cannot. FBZ is down. Tims will try to TP away and barely makes it out, but they've left Yopaj all by himself, and he is gonna drop. 2 down for the side of Boom, and LGD very comfortably taking that team fight. It didn't seem like they were worried whatsoever.
And again, you just see how difficult it is to actually initiate. Tims manages to blink and instantly get the Walrus punch off, but one small delay with a spear and BKB's turn on, Arena does nothing, and off the back of those kills into the Roche once more. LGD go. They've got the security now for a tier 2 into the high ground.
You see just the quick BKB up, nothing to say, just unable to get the spear off in time, and that's really just what turns it, right? Like, you get the boat off, you're just so much stronger, and of course FBZ with the egg as well, just a bit out of position, I would argue. Way too far forward, making it way too easy for LGD to just take him out, and now they're onto the tier 3 tower. It's a clinic so far from LGD.
Radiant structures are fortified.
The tier 3, not going to last too long with all this minus armor available from Arme.
Radiant's middle tower.
Very confident, just down the front lines is the Monkey King as the BKB has been forced out once again. Cookie will not land. They do find a tier 3 though, and LGD, they might not continue. If BKB's down for Arme, they don't want to risk it. Even with the Aegis up, you may as well wait until the BKB's back up and available and just go high ground again. In the meantime though, we do have a 5-man smoke up.
See if Boom can kind of try to find a little bit more.
Jump in, Arena is there. They'll find Q on that Snapfire. It's not the biggest kill, but it is something.
Yeah, it's, you take what you can get now when you're this far behind. 19k lead still standing for LGD. Much needed kill coming out for Yopaj to find. And, you know, you're not under too much pressure. You're going to have Egg off cooldown in a few seconds. Arena not the longest in the world, so you can kind of just take your time here as LGD. I mean, they've got a lot of security on hand, right? Like, Aegis still up and running for 3 minutes and a half. Scotty being built up by Ame, so durable on this Monkey King, and just taking away the healing that Jackie will want to do when he's right-clicking away. It's not getting any easier for the Lifestealer. This is just not a game where it feels like Jackie can just simply farm and carry the team. Everyone's going to have to work as a unit here up against LGD, and they're just looking way more coordinated. Their movement's just been perfect.
That they are. Down at bot lane. Faith Beyond, going to see Tims, but the blink away is going to be there. Still Faith. We'll get a Corrosive Haze off, but that's about it. The LGD might be in a position now where they just push high ground again. The BKB is back up on Ame. Very, very good timing here from LG, just waiting that item out, and in they go. For the bottom tier 3 tower, boom, they will try to set up for this team fight. It's just so rough to see how you get the initiation off before the BKBs, but there it is. They've got the Conquer, nothing to say. He's a big target, but he's gonna get out. He's got the BKB in time as Jackie's the one to drop, and now Yopaj is gone. Oh, it was such a great start, but they find nothing.
Oh, they call it.
They call it. Egg is down, they've had enough. Very rough game 1 here for Boom, and well, for LGD, it was just an absolute clinic.
Yeah, they just played perfectly. Start to finish, from the laning, all the choices they made. They read the draft really well. We heard how confident they was, right? Like, Muji was, this is within expectations. We've drafted to what we know we can handle up against LGD, and LGD shows us their prep work was probably a bit better.
Yeah.
They just come out on top. We saw that combination at the end, that blink in from Tims, the instant stuns onto one, but you left the Chen alone. The healing was there, and they had a Wraith pack up and running towards the end.
Absolutely. This is more like the LGD we're used to seeing. I think we're going to have to give Boom a call. That we're going to need to shave some more heads here, Jonathan, because things are looking rather tough here for game 1. We'll see how they change it up for game number 2, though, very, very soon as Boom. I'm sure they'll go for a reset, try to talk about what happened. What do you think actually went wrong here for Boom? Like, was it a drafting issue? I mean, you talked about the coordination already, but was there something else you'd like to see them change up in game 2 to maybe force us to a game 3?
Maybe it did go back a little bit to the draft. Like, we didn't see as much activity out from Skem and Tims. That's where it feels like it really fell flat. Like, towards the mid, you saw how much Q did with Y.
Yeah, Q was an absolute monster. Look, we are going to head off back to the panel and see what they had to think about this game number 1.
my panel are laughing about, I think the Observer got a crimson. Congratulations, baby Scriff, maybe Web has, and I know there's other observers there. Patrick, yes. So yeah, first crimson we've seen. But thank you, MLP Dota and johnxfire. Welcome back to the panel. And this looks like, yeah, the team PSG.LGD. They've, you know, been runner-up twice at TI, and people, you know, we said like, oh, a little bit shaky. But that wasn't a shaky game. That was just dominant. And, you know, a lot of teams have, you know, come out the laning phase and, you know, held it quite nicely, but they held it tight, right, Sheep?
Yeah, the way that they accelerated their lead was fantastic. They had these really nice, at first, defensive wards down, where like they just had them on the cliff so they could farm and just keep farming safely while they were crushing their lanes. Like, coming out with these crush lanes is so good. And then on top of that, they get this Roche because Boom have to use like 3 to 4 heroes just to kill one single hero on bot, and they take that advantage to go to Roche, get that, and then use the Roche and Aegis to go deeper into the side of Boom's map, and then place like these deep lane wards down, like mid and top, and that way they're able to just keep hunting them.
And Lizard, you pretty much, you know, from the draft, you said I would much rather be, you know, PSG.LGD here. Yeah, like if you look at the 2 drafts, one last pick made sense, the other didn't at all, in my opinion. Like, on one side you have the Slardar, he's dominating the Lifestealer. It's a good pick, like, I want to be that guy, but Phoenix, last pick, I don't get it. Like, it's good with Yopaj as Mars. It gives you a lot. It gives you that teamfight potential, right? But on the offlane, the hero isn't nearly as good as he used to be. Plus, you're playing into a Snapfire. Like, that Snapfire is always going to be a problem. Like, literally at every single point in the game, your egg can just be destroyed by one single hero. And we saw some highlights here. And FEZ, unfortunately, 0-2-2 and, you know, caught slightly out of position. But when you get, you know, in one of his last eggs, but of course, when you get the, you know, BKBs as well on your cores are PSG.LGD, Mars Arena, you can still get to the egg, even though, it could have been maybe a little bit further back. So I wouldn't say, a rocky start for Boom Esports, but what I did like what they did, and this is going to sound a little bit rude, they GG'd early to keep some, I hope, kind of energy. Because a lot of teams, fight to the death, but it's game one, it's like, look, this is not working out, we've had that opportunity. I won't say GG early, sorry, but, some teams are like, okay, let's try and swing it around, let's use our buybacks. They were like, okay, we failed on the conquer, we're done. Let's just, reset and go into game two. But I think they've, still got something to show here on the main stage.
Some games are obvious, right? Like you just see from minute 15 that it's unsalvageable.
Yeah, pretty much. It's one of those games for PSG where their lanes went so well that they didn't really need to think about anything. Just perform well and your draft will play itself pretty much for PSG.
What would you like Boom to do coming into game two? Obviously, you can say not last pick the Phoenix, but we're not going to harp on that. But
we're not going to harp on that, but sometimes your draft is really difficult, right?
Yeah. No, I would say it's just about having the needed layers to play out a game. Because, for example, PSG, they had the tankiness of the Kunkka, but supported by the tills of the Chen. They had the aggression of the Slardar, the Monkey King. Like, everything just complements each other. Where Boom, it was we have to fight for position. If we throw our spells, we own an area. But then PSG, they had all these heroes that are very good at also playing those areas and then pushing you away. So they can shove you away from the egg and stuff. So I think for Boom, this was one of their clunkier drafts that they've done and not to their true form of nature, at least at TI. Maybe in other DPC games they've tried doing this type of stuff before.
I'm sorry, Scriff or Vepus or PTP, they're really happy with their Crimson right now.
Is he going to open it?
We can see him trying to... He's hovering above the Crimson witness.
We'll have more Crimson updates in a moment. But actually, let's check back in with Singapore with the commentators and Casey and Slacks.
Hello, hello. Hello, 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 my friends. Yes, that is right. We are here in Singapore. In fact, for the Southeast Asian TI. In fact, with the greatest Southeast Asian casters in the last game of the last team in Southeast Asia. Guys, I just want to come and talk to you. Honestly, these guys, MLP, johnxfire, the best in the world at Casting C in this game. It just felt ironic to me. So I just wanted to thank you and introduce you. Casey, please. Do
Casey,
my job
back to you. No, not back to you. Yeah, no, how exciting is it to be together in real life? Because he was telling me that you only met in person, like, recently after casting together for how many years?
5 years it was.
What?
Yeah, it was 5 years. It was a long-term relationship, a travel, what do you call it? A long-distance relationship.
That's right.
Yeah, it was a rough road, but we did make it together in Stockholm. Yeah.
And this is your very first TI. It's your very first time being able to be on the big stage in your region. Like, talk us through the feelings there.
It's amazing. I mean, the crowd, the fans have been amazing. Everyone's been coming up and talking to us and taking photos and complimenting us and everything. And the crowd has been electrifying as well. All the SEA teams have been going home, obviously. It's not the greatest feeling in the world, but it's still a great TI, and we're very happy to be here.
Were you guys nervous at all?
Nervous? No, but I kept expectations low. When we got the message, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was washing my dishes at like 2 a.m. and they just sat down on the floor. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if it was real. So it's different. It's amazing.
Did you ever go back and wash the dishes?
Yeah, I did finish. I cleaned up.
Yes, absolutely. So Boom, last game won. I know you guys have a lot of pride. It's okay. This is my one moment. You guys have been doing a great job casting and not being biased as F, as I would have been. But now, in this moment, in a non-professional setting with an interview with Casey,
hey.
Can you say any words here for the last ride of the boys in the region?
I think the crowd got it right. Boom, tarat, tarat. That's all they need. Just keep chanting that and they're going to get good.
There's definitely going to be a game number 3. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We're going to game 3. LGD, they haven't washed their faces. We all know what happens after they don't do that, and we're going to a game 3.
All right, guys. What about you, audience? I know you guys can hear me. Game 3? Are we going there? Is Boom coming back? Hello?
I saw one thumbs up.
Okay, thank you so much. One guy. Very excited. Fantastic. All right, guys. Well, put your bias away now. Put it back. Become professional.
Yeah, the bias that you pulled out of them and forced them.
It was very forced.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll throw back to the panel for this wonderful, wonderful game 2.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.